What's up? What's up? It's the homie Fasscoupe, and I gotta check in with y'all, man. I just made it to 29 years old, and I just want to get some advice on how to actually turn 29 years old. When I say this, it's very regular to turn 29 years old, but in some demographics, it's a bit challenging. You know what I'm saying? To turn 29 free, right? And alive, most importantly. I just want to share some thoughts and some tips that I have in terms of making sure that you get to see these older years that are supposed to be experienced. So, one of the main things that really helps your boy is the art of separation. Um, you know, a lot of people in urban societies are attached to one another. As humans, we're all interdependent. So it's like we're all connected in a sense, and whether it's good or bad, and a lot of people, tend to have bad habits, right? And being around these people plays a major part in your life. So we have like many examples of, just guilty by association. Like, if you're a church girl and you're with three girls and they're known to be promiscuous and prostitute. Now you're going to be labeled as, the church girl that was with the three women that, are being promiscuous and that, indulge in prostitution, right? So now it's going to affect your image by default, regardless of what you say or however you want to use the situation and be like, no, I was mentoring them or whatever the case is. At the end of the day, it reflects in your image. So you're already experiencing some type of damage just from the people that you're being around. So you have to be very selective. You have to be so picky about the company that you keep. It's just like if you want to have a nice body, you have to be very mindful of what you digest, what you consume, right? If you want to be smart, you got to make sure that you're on top of what you're watching, what you're reading. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you're actually doing things that actually benefit. Gaining wisdom. So I think all of those are relatively similar in terms of the fact that you need to be picky and selective, right? So when you get a nice body, it's because you ate well and you decided to work out and you're being very like disciplined. And when you want to become smart, right? You studied, you decided not to go to parties, you decided to make sure that you did your homework a day early, whatever the case may be. I'm giving examples, but this logic is applied in terms of the company that you keep as well. So, a lot of people have been in situations to where their friend is the reason that they're in jail, right? Or they're someone out there was around, lined them up and put them in a position that ended up getting them hurt. Like I have a friend, you know, um, who was laying down with a woman. He went over to her house and he went over there, experienced a good time, as we understand. And she was actually in a toxic relationship, and her boyfriend broke into the apartment while they were sleeping. And my friend, he woke up to her boyfriend hitting her. So he's literally in shock. He just wakes up. He doesn't know if it's a robber, whatever the case is. So he ends up, going into fight or flight, and he decided to fight. And in terms of the altercation, a weapon was drawn, and he was shot and ended up being deceased, right? And that all could have just been prevented if he was more mindful of the company that he kept and knowing his value. So, knowing your value, right? Knowing how important you are, knowing your destination, knowing where you're going to go is one of the most essential things of, the company that you keep. Because when you're so picky and you're so mindful of this, you're going to think about, okay, am I aligned with this person right here? Are we on a similar path? You can't be wanting to be a realtor and then you're around a bunch of drug dealers, right? Like you need to start being around other realtors or other people who are doing legal business, right? If you want to be a wife, right? You need to get away from strippers. You need to get away from women who don't really understand, the morality of being, a potential wife candidate. So it's all about just understanding your value, knowing your worth, right? And realizing that you don't need anybody to be happy. Self love is the number one thing as well. So knowing your value, self love, right? and also following your intuition. I think we've all been in situations where we got like some type of instinctive feeling of, what's going on with this person, right? And knowing that your intuition is not lying to you, that's something that's embedded in us as humans that we were programmed with to help us survive. So just like chameleons can change colors, and all these animals adapt to their habitat, we have things that are meant for our survival, and intuition is one of them. It's just as important as hearing, seeing, talking. You know, it's one of them things that if you listen to it, it can actually put you in the right direction, and always follow that your gut instinct. Moving forward, you know, taking your time, respecting the process too, because a lot of people fall victim to instant gratification. Now, instant gratification is something that you want to just pretty much end up rich tomorrow, or you just want to end up in shape tomorrow. So you start taking steroids, you start selling drugs, you decide to rob a bank. And where does it get you? It makes your health decline, and it puts your freedom at risk, and it potentially will put you in jail for a long time. And I always use this example. You're out there, you're broke, and an opportunity comes along that's illegal, and pretty much the person's like, yo, just take this and go do this, and you go do that for a quick dollar, and you get pulled over in the process. Now, you're fighting a case, right? And potentially going to go to jail. So say you end up going to jail for 5 years, right? If you decided to just take your time and understand that you have to embrace the struggle instead of running from it, you may have literally just won a lottery. You never know what opportunity can come in the next day. You just have to make sure that you understand that all these days are aligned. Everything is preparation. Everything is connected. So if you are making decisions that are going to derail you, you will get derailed. So you just have to make sure that the decision that you decide to make actually coexist with the direction that you're trying to go. So if you're trying to be a basketball player, there's no reason you should be selling drugs, right? If you're trying to be a lawyer, there's no reason that you should be trying to get into the porn industry. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's certain things that you just have to do. You have to understand that, all right, this is what I want to do. And it could be, you could actually want to do multiple things, but very few actually come out successful. Majority, and I'm talking about really smart people, the smartest people are in the feds, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter how smart you are. Technology is advanced. There's so many people who are willing to tell, right? And there's so many people who are willing to backdoor. So this just has to be understood. And I just want people to know that, you have to make a conscious effort in terms of remaining free and remaining alive, right? You have to put in the work, because that is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That is an opportunity to experience this existence, and you are something that is a product of something so much greater. And you just have to understand that, you have to appreciate it, and if you don't use it correctly, you're going to lose it. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is appreciate every day, every opportunity that you have, and stay on course. You know what I'm saying? Don't get discouraged just because things may not be what you want it to be. But the best things come from repetition and consistency. A nice body, a nice amount of money saved up, a nice investment, that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Success always takes time, and it takes, repetition. The overnight success stories, we all heard about them. You can win a lottery today and end up being a garbage man tomorrow, based on the fact that you didn't really have the skills necessary to control the finances that you gained, right? If you had worked for them, you would have been more mindful and more appreciative of all the effort that you put into it naturally. So we appreciate what we work for more than what we just get. You're not going to appreciate something that you just got. You're going to appreciate something that you work for. So that's my tips on getting older. I'm 29 now. I got so much game I'm going to spare with y'all. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Man, subscribe now. Follow. You dig what I'm saying? I want to make sure y'all get, to the next age that you promised. You see what I'm saying? So thank y'all for tuning in, man. Welcome to the crib. We got way more content coming through. Had to send something positive out. Dig what I'm saying? Let's go.